Our story begins in the year 1912. A rare book dealer named Wilfred Voynich was visiting an old Jesuit college called Villa Mondragone, near Rome, Italy. The college was struggling financially and had quietly decided to sell a few priceless books from its ancient library. As Voynich searched through dusty shelves filled with forgotten manuscripts, one unusual book immediately caught his attention. It wasn't covered in gold. It didn't contain beautiful Latin handwriting like other medieval books. Instead, every page was filled with strange symbols that looked like no known language on earth. The illustrations were even more bizarre. There were drawings of plants that didn't match any real species. Circular star charts filled with mysterious patterns. Strange castles and flowing green liquids. And dozens of women bathing in what looked like connected pools or underground tunnels. Voynich instantly realized this was no ordinary medieval manuscript. He purchased the book and took it with him, believing he had discovered one of history's greatest forgotten treasures. Soon after, scholars from across Europe began examining the manuscript. Everyone asked the same question. Who wrote this book? Inside its pages was a faded letter mentioning the famous 17th-century scholar Athanasius Kircher, a man believed by many to understand ancient languages. The letter suggested that even hundreds of years ago, people were already trying, and failing, to decipher the manuscript. This meant the mystery was already centuries old before Voynich ever found it. As technology improved, scientists used radiocarbon dating on the manuscript's parchment. The results revealed something astonishing. The animal skin used to create the pages dated back to the early 1400s, proving that the manuscript was not a modern fake. It was a genuine medieval document that had survived for more than 6 centuries. But while scientists could determine when the pages were made, they still couldn't answer the most important questions. Who wrote it? Why was it created? And what do those mysterious symbols actually mean? The deeper researchers looked, the stranger the mystery became. And then they turned the page. What they discovered inside would make the Voynich manuscript one of the most mysterious books ever created. As researchers carefully turned each fragile page, they realized they weren't looking at an ordinary medieval manuscript. They had discovered something far stranger. The book contained around 240 pages, all filled with an unknown writing system unlike any language ever recorded in human history. At first glance, the text looked surprisingly organized. The characters repeated in patterns, words were separated by spaces, and the handwriting remained remarkably consistent from beginning to end. This wasn't random scribbling. Whoever wrote the manuscript knew exactly what they were doing. But then came the illustrations. The first section was covered with drawings of plants. At first, scholars believed they were illustrations of medieval herbs used in medicine. But when botanists examined them closely, they were stunned. Some plants looked familiar. Others appeared to be combinations of several different species. And many didn't match any known plant on Earth. It was as if someone had imagined an entirely new world of vegetation. Turning more pages only deepened the mystery. Researchers discovered beautiful circular diagrams filled with stars, suns, moons, and strange zodiac symbols. Some believed these were astronomical charts. Others argued they represented astrology, a subject that fascinated many scholars during the Middle Ages. Yet none of the diagrams could be fully understood because the mysterious writing surrounding them remained unreadable. Then came perhaps the strangest pages of all. Dozens of small women, many of them unclothed, were illustrated standing inside green pools connected by winding pipes and strange tube-like structures. Some appeared to be bathing. Others seemed to be carrying stars or mysterious objects. No one could explain what these scenes represented. Were they part of an ancient medical guide? A symbolic map of the human body? A forgotten religious ritual? Or something else entirely? Near the end of the manuscript, the pages became even more confusing. Rows of mysterious text were separated by star-shaped symbols, almost as if they were recipes, instructions, or coded formulas. But without understanding the language, every page raised more questions than answers. The Voynich Manuscript wasn't just difficult to read. It seemed designed to resist understanding itself. Every expert who opened its pages walked away with a different theory. And that was only the beginning. Because the greatest mystery wasn't what the book looked like. It was whether anyone would ever be able to read a single word. By the early 20th century, the Voynich Manuscript had become one of the greatest puzzles in history. News of the mysterious book spread across Europe and America. Soon, some of the world's most brilliant cryptographers, linguists, historians, and scientists accepted the challenge. Their mission was simple. Read just one sentence. But that simple task would prove almost impossible. Experts first searched for patterns in the strange alphabet. They counted the symbols. Measured the frequency of every character. Compared the text with Latin, Greek, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and dozens of other ancient languages. Nothing matched. It was as if the manuscript belonged to a language that had never existed. Then came the greatest codebreakers of the 20th century. During World War II, the men who had successfully cracked some of history's most complex military codes, including experts who worked on encrypted wartime messages, also studied the Voynich Manuscript. These were people who had defeated secret codes that changed the course of history. Yet this mysterious book refused to surrender its secrets. Weeks became months. Months became years. Every new theory collapsed under careful examination. Some researchers claimed they had finally solved the mystery. But each time, other experts discovered mistakes that destroyed their conclusions. As computers became more powerful, hope returned. Researchers created digital copies of every page. Algorithms searched millions of possible combinations. Artificial intelligence analyzed the writing style. The results were astonishing. The text wasn't random. It followed consistent grammatical patterns, just like a real human language. Words appeared in logical positions. Certain symbols followed predictable rules. Repeated phrases appeared exactly where they should in meaningful writing. This meant one incredible thing. Someone had written the manuscript with remarkable structure and consistency. But if it truly was a real language, why couldn't anyone understand it? Some experts believe the key has simply been lost forever. Others argue that the manuscript hides multiple layers of encryption, making it impossible to decode without a missing key. And a few researchers suggest something even more disturbing. What if the author never wanted anyone else to read it? If that's true, then the Voynich Manuscript may not just be a mysterious book. It may be the world's most successful secret message. But if the code couldn't explain everything, then perhaps the answer wasn't hidden in the language at all. Maybe the truth was hidden in the person who created it. As the years passed, one question continued to haunt every researcher. Who created the Voynich Manuscript? Without knowing its author, understanding the book became almost impossible. Some historians believe the manuscript was written by a brilliant medieval scholar whose knowledge was far ahead of his time. The strange astronomical diagrams, mysterious plants, and detailed illustrations suggested that the author was highly educated. Whoever created this book clearly understood science, nature, and art far better than most people of that era. Others believed the manuscript wasn't written in a secret code at all. Instead, they suggested it was written in a language that had simply disappeared over time. History has seen entire civilizations vanish without leaving many records behind. Languages have been lost, libraries have burned, and cultures have disappeared forever. If the language itself no longer exists, translating the manuscript may be impossible. Another possibility is that the book was never meant for ordinary people. During the Middle Ages, scholars, physicians, and alchemists often kept their knowledge hidden. Important information was sometimes shared only among a small group of trusted individuals. If the Voynich Manuscript belonged to such a group, the writing system may have been created to protect its secrets from everyone else. But there was another possibility. One that divided researchers more than any other. What if the manuscript was created simply to fool people? At first, that idea seemed believable. But the more experts studied the book, the more difficult it became to support that conclusion. The writing follows consistent rules. The words repeat in natural patterns. The illustrations appear carefully planned. Creating something so detailed would have required years of work and extraordinary planning. Whether it was a forgotten language, a hidden code, or something entirely different, one fact remained unchanged. No one could prove who wrote it. No one could explain why it was created. And after more than 600 years, the Voynich Manuscript continued to guard its greatest secret. Just when it seemed the mystery would never be solved, modern technology entered the investigation. Powerful computers. Advanced linguistic analysis. And finally, artificial intelligence. For centuries, the Voynich Manuscript defeated every person who tried to understand it. But in the 21st century, researchers believed they finally had a new weapon. Artificial intelligence. Unlike humans, AI can analyze millions of words, compare thousands of languages, and detect hidden patterns in just a few seconds. Many experts hoped that if anyone could unlock the manuscript's secret, it would be a machine. High-resolution digital scans of every page were uploaded into powerful computer systems. Researchers examined every symbol, every sentence, and every repeated pattern. The results were surprising. The manuscript did not behave like meaningless writing. Its words followed consistent rules. Certain symbols appeared together again and again. Some words were common, while others were extremely rare, just like in real human languages. This suggested that the text had structure and purpose. In other words, someone had written it carefully. Yet even with all this technology, one problem remained. AI could recognize patterns. It could compare languages. It could calculate probabilities. But it could not understand a language that had no known translation. Without a reference point, even the world's most advanced computers reached a dead end. Some researchers believe the missing key may have been lost centuries ago. Others think the manuscript was created using a unique writing system known only to its author. Whatever the truth may be, one fact is impossible to ignore. More than 600 years after it was written, the Voynich Manuscript still refuses to reveal its secrets. Perhaps one day, a forgotten document will be discovered. Perhaps a new breakthrough in artificial intelligence will finally decode its mysterious pages. Or perhaps the Voynich Manuscript was never meant to be understood. And that is exactly what makes it one of the greatest mysteries in human history. More than 6 centuries have passed since the Voynich Manuscript was created. Kings and kingdoms have disappeared. Empires have risen and fallen. The world has witnessed incredible scientific discoveries, space exploration, and the birth of artificial intelligence. Yet one small medieval book continues to challenge everything we know. No one has identified its author. No one has proven its purpose. And no one has successfully read its mysterious language. Perhaps one day, a forgotten document will be discovered that finally reveals the key to its strange alphabet. Or maybe a future generation, armed with technology beyond our imagination, will solve the mystery once and for all. But until that day comes, the Voynich Manuscript remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Maybe it's a forgotten language. Maybe it's hidden knowledge. Or maybe it's a message that was never meant for us. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. Its secrets have survived for more than 600 years. And for now, they remain locked inside its silent pages. So, what do you think? Is the Voynich Manuscript a genuine ancient book hiding lost knowledge? Or is it the greatest unsolved puzzle in human history? Let us know your theory in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into one of history's greatest mysteries, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Historical Stories and Myths, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another incredible story from history. Thank you for watching. And remember, sometimes, the greatest mysteries are the ones that refuse to be solved.